Let's do an activity to understand the refraction through a rectangular glass slab. This is a rectangular glass slab. As it is made up of glass and is a cuboid, we call it as a rectangular glass slab. So for this activity, we need a wooden board. This is the wooden board. A white sheet of paper, which we place it at the center of the wooden board. Also, we need a protractor, a scale, a pencil and an eraser, and few all pins are also required. So to start with the activity, we place the white sheet of paper at the center of this wooden board. Now place the glass slab at the center of the white sheet. Now we'll mark the boundary of this glass slab. Actually, we have to mark it in the lab. We have to mark it with using a pencil. But here, as to be clearly seen, we mark it with the help of a pen. Let's name this boundary as A, B, C, D. So now we remove the glass slab from the boundary and we name this boundary to be A, B, C, D. On the face AB, we consider any one point which we call it as the point of incidence. Okay, at this point of incidence on the face AB, we draw one perpendicular which will be called as the normal. We know that perpendicular is an angle of 90 degree to the face AB. Let us name this normal to be N dash. Let this normal is N dash. Okay, now making some angle with the normal, let us draw one incident ray. Let us consider this angle to be 30 degree. So from here, this is 10 degree, 20 degree, 30 degree. So this angle is 30 degree with the normal. So here we draw one ray which is making an angle of 30 degree with the normal, and this angle we call it as angle of incidence. Why? Because this ray is the incident ray. So this angle which is formed between the normal and the incident ray, this angle we call it as angle of incidence, and here the angle of incidence we have taken is 30 degree. Now we fix two all pins on the incident ray nearly 6 to 7 centimeters apart. So here we fix two all pins on the incident ray which are nearly 6 to 7 centimeters apart. Now place the glass slab again at its boundary. Okay, now here looking from the other face, we have to fix two more pins such that these two pins itself and the images of the two pins which we have already fixed should be in the same straight line. So here we'll fix two more all pins looking from the CD face of the glass slab such that all four pins appear to be in the same straight line. Now encircle these two pins and let us name it as GH. Remove the glass slab from the boundary, keep it one side. Encircle these two pins also which were fixed on the incident ray. Let us name it as EF. Okay, so this ray PQ is the incident ray. Now using a scale, we'll join these two points, that is G and H, and this ray will call it as the emergent ray. Okay, now join these two points Q and R. This ray now which is traveling inside the glass slab we'll call it as the refracted ray. So QR is the refracted ray and RS is the emergent ray. Now we can see here the medium here from where the incident ray is striking the glass slab through the face AB. Here the medium is air. The ray which is traveling inside the glass, the medium there is glass, and this ray is again emerging back into the air. Okay, now at this point R, we again draw one more normal, that is making an angle of 90 degree with the face CD. So here we draw one normal, that is making an angle of 90 degree with the face CD. Let us name this normal to be N1, N1 dash. This angle which is between the refracted ray and the normal, this angle we call it as angle of refraction. If this angle is R, you can see here as it is alternate opposite angle, so this angle is also equal to R. And this angle which is formed between the emergent ray and the normal, we call it as angle of emergence. Now let's measure the angle of emergence. Here we see that angle of emergence is also equal to 30 degree. Angle of emergence is also equal to 30 degrees. So angle of incidence which we have taken to be 30 degrees, and we find that when we measure the angle of emergence, this is also equal to 30 degrees. Let's measure the angle of refraction also. Okay, when we measure the angle of refraction, here we see that it is equal to 19 degrees. So angle of refraction is 19 degrees. This PQ ray, we call it as incident ray. The ray which is traveling inside the glass slab, that is QR ray, we call it as the refracted ray. And the ray which is again emerging back into the air, that is the ray RS, we call it as the emergent ray. So here we see that the angle of incidence and the angle of emergence both are equal. Both angle of incidence we have taken to be 30 degrees and angle of emergence is also equal to 30 degrees. So now let's extend the incident ray forward. When we extend the incident ray forward, we draw it with the dotted line because the extended rays are always shown by dotted lines. So we extend the incident ray and we find it that the emergent ray is parallel to the incident ray. Why? Because these angles are equal. Angle of incidence and the angle of emergence are equal. So the incident ray and the emergent ray are parallel. Okay, why they are parallel? Because the refraction is taking place through two parallel faces of the glass slab. AB and CD are the two parallel faces of the glass slab. So the incident ray and the emergent ray are parallel. That is why the angle of incidence and the angle of emergence both are equal. Now let us understand the theory. This PQ ray, which is the incident ray, is traveling from air to glass. We know that air is rarer to glass, or you may say that glass is denser to air. So as the ray of light is traveling from rarer to denser, so it will bend towards the normal. Now on this face CD, this refracted ray which is traveling from denser to again rarer medium, so it will bend away from the normal. The emergent ray is parallel to the incident ray, but it is shifted sidewards. So the perpendicular distance between the incident ray and the emergent ray, we call it as lateral shift. We can measure this perpendicular distance between the incident ray and the emergent ray with the help of a scale. So when we measure, we find that this distance, the perpendicular distance between the incident ray and the emergent ray, it is nearly equal to 1.4 centimeters. Okay, and this distance RT, we call it as lateral shift. This is called as the lateral shift. That is, the emergent ray is parallel to the incident ray, but it is shifted sideways. So the perpendicular distance between the incident ray and the emergent ray, we call it as lateral shift. So this is how the refraction takes place through a glass slab. Now in the coming activity, we'll study the refraction through a glass prism. So in order to watch that activity, kindly subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.